Go.
Hello, Scabinis. Instructor 7 here again. We had pretty good response to the video we did a couple of weeks back about some of the more obscure bare knuckle boxing strikes they used to use. And I'm going to cover another series of maligned and misunderstood hand strikes, the karate chop. Now, a lot of the misunderstanding comes from some of the things that happened in James Bond movies and cartoons back in the 60s and 70s. Hi-ya! The old original Avengers TV show was that Miss Peel would fight like that. All right, what it is, it's a variation on a punch without a glove. Now, this is a sure enough haymaker type hook. I cannot do that at full distance without hitting with my knocker knuckles, like you would knock on the door. That works great when you have a big pillow on your hand, but if you throw a hook bare knuckles, it needs to be square with the elbow behind it, or one of these weird variations, or the palm heel, because if you hit out here, you'll hurt yourself. Well, there are two variations. You can turn the hand either palm down and get the thumb out of the way, or palm up and use this at full reach. Far superior to this as far as reach goes. Also, because this is not a boxing match, I can aim for a soft, vulnerable target. That is the side of the neck. Whap! Here, here. The way you do this, the first one, palm up. This in the original Shotokan, they called it shuto, which means sword hand. And the reason they used that term is because people then understood that when you use a sword, you have to have the thing turned parallel to the ground. Or you'll get a glancing blow with sour vibration, knock it out of your hand, or bend your blade. You've got to hold that thing straight into the target, just like with a machete. The problem with this is that as you cross the body, it wants to roll over. If you're of average flexibility, that's really uncomfortable. So the way you do it is you get the body to precede the strike. And I'm hitting right out here at this 45-degree angle bench press push-up power point. And this thing, it'll warp him like a tire iron. Bam, right there. The elbow has a slight bend to act as a shock absorber. I'm moving heavily off the center line. Now, if I want to get closer, I can very much use this bone on the blade side of the forearm, bind. If we're close, I'm bending at the elbow, but notice this is straight. I'm not going to walk like an Egyptian. Bam, right there, sorry. And yes, you can go to the temple or the side of the jaw with it. Main thing on impact, look at my fingers there, slightly spaced and tense. Here's how you test it. About 2 inches above your elbow on that hard bone. If you've got this thing rigid and tense, you can take that. If I can take that, absolutely. Now the next one, same thing, only different. We're going to turn it over, the ridge hand. It is absolutely critical that you tuck your thumb out of the way and strike with this muscle right here on the side of the hand, or the blade of the forearm again. This one, as I move, notice my head moving heavily off the center line. I'm going to clothesline him with my arm. 2 to 4 inches before impact, I've got to put some hook in it. You got 3 motions. You got the movement off the center line, you got rotation, and you've got hook. Why is that hook so critical? It adds to the power, sure, but the main thing is if I hit with my arm straight, I will basically do a flying arm bar on myself and pop the capsule in my elbow. That's a real good way to hurt yourself. You've got to have some movement on it, some hook. So from here, bang, bang, moving off the center line, or back here. And there are all kinds of angles and variations you can do with these things. From here, if I can get just a wet washcloth of my arm across his, swing at my head. He's done. Right there, arm check. Right here, up the front of the chest, right under the chin. And by the way, anything to the back or front of the throat is absolute deadly force. Now, if you strike to the side, it's still dangerous. You can cause the same kind of damage as whiplash in a car wreck. You can displace a vertebrate, bulge a disc, paralyze him. It's still dangerous. But what makes the side work so well is the brachial plexus nerve that can cause instant shutdown, and also the veins, jugular veins go into your brain have, now correct me down here in the doobly-doo if I'm wrong, something called baroreceptors, which will regulate the blood pressure in your head when you something suddenly changes. You've probably experienced or seen somebody get up really quick and get dizzy or even pass out. Well, if there's a sudden strike to that part of your anatomy, those blood vessels will shut down and put you completely out. Now, don't try this, but there's some idiots on YouTube hitting each other in the side of the neck and passing completely out. I have accidentally did this sparring one time, popped a guy, and it felt like nothing. And his arm and leg went out in sympathetic reflex response like that, and I caught him on the way to the ground. He kind of came back to and said, "What happened?" I said, "I'm not sure. I just, there it went again." No. But yeah, it'll shut somebody down quick. And that's what these were developed for, that target. Now, yes, you can fit it in some other places, but realistically, the neck. I personally do not strike to the head at all with this ridge hand because it hurts my little hand. And it's not because I'm doing it wrong, it's because I'm doing it right. If you put a lot into that, it's more than you want to take. This one, you can take a lot more. Now, out here, going easy on it, right there. The ridge hand, I like to get in a little bit closer. Right there. See how I'm looking over my elbow where the target used to be? Bam! I'm clotheslining this guy. Anyway, that's the real use for these strikes. Not this nonsense you see in the cartoons, but play with them. Protect your elbow on this ridge hand especially. Slight bend on the knife hand, act as a shock absorber. Use the forearm on your bag at first till you get the feel of it, and put these tools in your box. Till next time, thank you.